Hello there, this is Charles Emmanuel, and I welcome you to another edition of our author interview. And with me today is a super amazing author, Pastor Victor Ogbijah, the author of the just released book, Dare Dream Again. Now, without further ado, let me introduce to you my guest, Pastor Victor Ogbijah. Good day, sir.
Okay, I am Victor Ogbijah, the senior pastor and the president of the First Class Citizens International Church in Nigeria. Presently, we're starting to work in Abuja. We have network of churches in the down southern part of the country, Delta and River State. My vision and purpose is to raise a new crop of leaders for the kingdom. So we are kingdom-centric church, and my vision is picking people from the scratch and using kingdom values to build them until they build kingdom-centric mindsets that can help them also begin to influence their society which they live in. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also a leadership coach. I do human capital development, and that is basically what I do. And that is who I am. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Pleased to meet you, sir. And for just get straight to the main reason for this conversation. I'd like to find out from you, sir. Why did you write this book, Dare Dream Again?
Dare Dream Again is a product of my personal life experience from when I was younger, and I think that from my interaction with people, I discovered that everybody tend to have some background issues that they confront or that is conflicting with their purpose in life. Naturally, from my experience, I discovered that the backgrounds are not the issues that really are afflicting. It's the understanding and maximizing lessons that I learned from those experiences. So I discover also from my little time of counseling and preaching, moving from one part of my country to another part of my country. Not even that. I remember I also got to South Africa. I discovered the same thing was there. I went to Germany. I discovered the same thing was there. And watching through a lot of scripts of movies, I discovered the same thing. So I made up my mind that Dare Dream Again should be out. Dare Dream Again has been in process for 21 years. For 21 years. Sometimes I write and I just lost the manuscript, but my wife was dogged, saying that this thing must go out and people must listen to it. So Dare Dream Again to me is the foundational, dealing with the foundational issues that tend to limit men from fulfilling that which God is laid in their heart. And I discover also from my work with people that those I've been able to work with, irrespective of the background that they think that they came from or the challenges that were in their life, they all came out and broke loose and self-fulfilling their purposes. So I think Dare Dream Again was inspired by practically seeing the results that these things are workable irrespective of the limitation, regardless of what any person has been through, and that they can come and become who God wants them to be. I think that was a driving force that made me say, okay, this book needs to be released. As a matter of fact, this is our 20th anniversary. A lot of people will be testifying to the fact that irrespective of their background, they came out. I have people who never had parents. I had drug addicts on the streets that have turned around and they are fulfilling massively. I remember there's a young man of, I think he's 27 this year, got married this year. I picked him up from the streets. This boy rose up from nowhere without a certification in life.
Wow.
He's managing one of the biggest, the branch of one of the biggest fintech company in Nigeria presently in Delta State. So it's amazing what God could do. So that is what really prompted me at this moment, that this book must come out and everybody can lay hands on those principles and values and use them for themselves.
Wow. Thank you so much. Just listening to this, I'm already super inspired, even beyond my knowledge of the content of the manuscript. But just before we let the cat out, I'd like to find out that why did you choose this title, Dare Dream Again? What inspired that particular phrase for you?
What inspired that is that from my work with people, I discovered a lot of people have let go of their dreams, swept them under the carpet. They cannot venture out. A lot of people that we see they are mentally depressed or they are having mental health challenges are people with dreams. People with dreams. And sometimes because of the pressure of life, they caved in and they wouldn't just want to come out again. I, for one, was a product of that. So the story I gave about myself, having finished secondary school as a young guy, a young teenager, going down to just to the world to apply for a job in that sports reporting company, really threw me off balance, because at this point in time I was subscribing to every force of darkness. That these are the devils, the witches, and the background, my family, and all that. I had many reasons why I shouldn't do what I should be doing. But that man shook my foundation. And growing up, becoming a pastor, I discovered that everybody, most of the people I meet, have the same excuses. I remember one of the seminars I held, I told everybody, if you come and your life is not changed, I will pay you. It was that daring. And about 58 people came in. I asked them question, why is it that what is it that is stopping you from fulfilling your dream? They gave a lot of reasons. Some of those reasons are the reasons I wrote in that book. And 60% of them told me about the background they are coming from, not having money and all that. So I think from my experience that the reason why people are not who they are is that they are not bold enough to take their dream out. So some of them have dreamed before and they failed. Most especially, I remember when I got into daring out to fulfill my dream. I remember I got into venturing into entrepreneurship. I lost 13 million. That was in 2010, and that was very big money. If you sell the whole of my family, they can't make 1 million naira. But I made 13 million naira. Everything told me you can't go forward. You can't do anything again. But I discovered that it takes boldness. It takes people of brave hearts, with brave hearts, to be able to go out. So the team, I would have written Dare to Dream Again. I think the tool for me was reducing the dreaming. So I said, Dare Dream Again. I pick up the tool and throw it on. So I feel like if everyone can just come out and advance their cause, they will fulfill their dream, no matter how precarious their situation might be.
Yes, sir. Wow. Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure that our viewers are really inspired and can't wait to get a hold of this book. Now, for someone who is wondering, there are a few other books on similar subjects, books that inspire people to chase their dreams and chase their passion and chase their purpose and all that. But what would you say makes this book different from others in the same category?
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. A lot of books are out there, very good books, full of content. But I think what makes Dare Dream Again stand out is the practical life experience, the pragmatic approach to getting out of that which you need to get out. You don't need much of thinking to do. It's just like Dare Dream Again is like injecting into you that which you need for that dream that you need to dream. So Dare Dream Again for me is a practical experience, relatable experience that people could relate without necessarily going to think if the person or the author is just right now and I potencies from somewhere. So I think that is what Dare Dream Again. That is the uniqueness of Dare Dream Again. People have I have read the book several times, and I discovered that each time I read it, it jars me up. It makes me see that these are natural people. They are not people far away from you. These are people closer to you that have been able to come out. I use my life. I remember when my wife was editing a book for the first time, he said, who are these people? I said, it's me. I use my practical thing that anybody could use. I remember some time ago, a young lady met me. I was just holding my son beside me and was staring at me. And I'm not a very public person. And she was staring at me. I was wondering, why is this lady staring at me? Then she asked me a question. Sir, can I ask you a question? I said, be free. He said, are you from this region? I told her, I said, I grew in your father's backyard because I know our father. Our father used to be my headmaster. I said, I grew at your father's backyard. Now, a lot of people don't understand that I came from the place where they all came from. Why? Because at a given time in my life, I told myself, irrespective of my environment, I can produce the result I need. Irrespective of my family, I can produce. I think that is the practical thing that makes for Dead Dream Again, that distinguishes Dead Dream Again from other people. So you see that I didn't go picking materials from other people's materials. I used practical, relatable experience from things that we see. I only just took quotes from other persons to make it relatable.
Thank you so much. That's so insightful. In fact, you even answered my next question in advance. I was going to ask why readers should really listen to you, but I think you already hit that nail on the head. But if you want to add anything to that, why should a reader listen to you? What makes you feel qualified to share on the subject?
Oh, and that's another thing. I think people don't like people who tell them things that they themselves have not done. I remember some time ago, I preached in the church and the recordings was on, and the pastor laid his hand on them. And after listening to that recording, he came back. He drove back to my house and asked me, if you know this much, why is your life this? I looked at him. I told him, I said, whatever you see in that tape, you are not authorized to preach them until you've experienced them. Whatever you heard in that business talk I talked about is a practical life experience. You cannot get it from Harvard. You understand? A couple of years later, the wife got into debt and was going for divorce. So somebody brought him to my house. Come and talk to Pastor Victor. So he came to me and I looked at him. I said, what is wrong? He said, I'm divorcing my wife and I'm going to court. I said, what is the problem? What did the woman do? He said, the woman is an idiot. What did the woman do? He said, the woman is a witch. I said, what did the woman do? He said, the woman owed debt. I said, how much debt? He said, 2.8 million. I said, man, you are a disgrace to manhood. I said, that is what somebody gives to his wife to go spend over the night in the eating mall. And that is what you want to chase your wife away from. I said, I will give you practical tips to get those creditors go and you pay your debt. Say, number one, stand for your wife. Approach them. Negotiate with them. Negotiate with them differently. Don't bring them together, because when you bring them together, they're going to form a union against you. So isolate them, negotiate with them. And don't think that they will not tell the other person. They will tell the other person. But before they will tell the other person, you already negotiated with the other person. So you see that they have nothing to say. Just tell them, keep it secret to yourself, because if you tell the other persons, I might use your money to pay the other one. So you see what will happen. They will not like to tell themselves. So he did exactly that, and they paid their debts. The wife was testifying. Wow. So I think I have gotten a lot of experience, both personally and with dealing with people. So that makes me, and I wouldn't say an authority, but yes, an authority to be able to tell you that these are pragmatic approach to getting this thing done, because this is over 25 years of dealing with such cases. As a matter of fact, if I want to put the volume of my ministry years together, I began since 1992. So it's quite a long time now. But practically on a personal note, it's 25 years now.
Wow. Thank you so much. I must appreciate the depth of value that you have put into this material. Quite frankly, I think that what you have in this book is more than one book. I don't really want to stretch the work too much, but I know that you already have structures in place to help readers go deeper and further. But I'd like to find out, in terms of the process, I know you've been 20-something years, you've been working on this. are there any specific instances or occurrences that or experiences that you had while putting the material together that you think the readers need to know? For example, I hear of people who say that their laptop crashes 3 times before they get to the final manuscript. You already hinted how you lost the material at some point. Just anything that readers need to know that went into this material they have in their hands.
Okay, let me say practically. When I began ministry with just nothing. I used to tell people I began ministry when things were very bad. I just had come out of the theological college after spending 5 years or 4 years because there was no money to pay my fees. I have to defer my admission and go prepare for 1 year to come back again. And then after that, I began the ministry from a living room of my parents. So literally, I do study a lot. I study volumes. So I speak. When I speak, people start to tell me that instead of just speaking to the air, why don't us record it? Because they cannot comprehend it in one time hearing. So I did something. I went to buy, there was no money. So I did an odd job, very odd job, and I got this small recorder. So I keep it under my pulpit when I'm preaching. So this whole book, I talked this book into cassette format. So I have to call them. My wife we're still dating. I called a brother Efo, who is having mental health challenge right now. They were all in the same university then. So what we did was they will pause, rewind, and transcribe from the cassette into books. So after having done that, we never had money to typeset. So we kept those materials away for a very long time. Then finally we got a laptop. We typed. Laptop was a borrowed laptop. The guy who owned the laptop one day just got mad, took everything and deleted everything off. So we have to start all over again. I think we did about 3 times like that. So having gotten the 3rd manuscript, I told myself, you got to lock this one under the locker. So we took it down and locked it. Thank God for my wife. She can type, she does the editing to a certain level. So she began to put these things together. So it took us that long years because it's a dream. We need to bring it to pass. We don't have all the resources at that time. I have a young ministry that reaches out only to teenage people at that time. So all responsibility was on me to take care of them. So I never had an extra money to keep somewhere to think about publishing a book. It's now that it's 20 years, I felt like, oh boy, this thing has been there for too long. As a matter of fact, it's not only this, there are about 5 other ones that are still in the locker that were about rolling out now. So it took a whole lot of process of time.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. This alone gives perspective to the readers on how much you yourself have lived the dream that you are encouraging them to live. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to say in conclusion?
In conclusion, I just want to tell every person who picks that book, pick the book. It's the aim of the book is not just making money. The aim of the book is that every dream you have, irrespective of your age, irrespective of the stage of life you're in, irrespective of the challenge you're facing, irrespective of the place you came from, irrespective of your religion, don't be moved that these things you must be a believer in Christ for you to have them. The values and principles of Christ are universal principles. They are internal principles. And I want to challenge you that you pick the book, put your eyes into it, and read it. I told a story of a woman I once pastored. That woman, they got married in the UK. and had their children in the UK. They moved back to Nigeria, and then somewhere, somehow, the children were grown, and the husband went to get another woman. And this woman is a master's degree holder in, I think, in one of these biological sciences. I happened to pastor her for a period of time. So I discovered that she's always withdrawn. I went on speaking to her, encouraging her to come out, irrespective of what the man has done or where the man has been to, or the man deserting her and her divorce status at that time. I told her, I said, you can dream again. But soon after I left that church to go back to school, I learned the woman committed suicide. She gave up her life. And I tell you, truth, that breaks. Every time I remember that, it breaks my heart, because her life is bigger than even the marriage relationship that you think is very central to her life. There's nothing you're going through right now that is bigger than the things that God is laying ahead of you and the things that God is laying within you. Let those things go. No matter what you've lost, it cannot be quantified with what you have on the inside. So go inside and look forward, and then you get your goal. And that is my last word for everyone. Go dream the dream that you have, pursue it, value it, uphold it, and God will bless it. Nature will supply everything that you need to get it fulfilled. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you so much, sir. This has been an enlightening time. There you have it, dear viewers. The link to get their dream again are just below this video for your convenience. Get a copy for yourself, get for your friend, and get for your friend's friend. And you are also able to contact the author, Pastor Victor, on that link as well. You find all the details you need just below this video. Thank you for spending your time with us today, and do have a beautiful day.
Thank you, brothers.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.